The mayor calls it his neighborhood summit, a gathering of people living in St. Pete, nonprofit leaders and business owners, people coming together to share ideas to make this city better. A packed house at Lake Vista, full of everyone that represents the city of St. Pete.
The whole mantra for us is we are St. Pete. That means all of us. We have to know our neighbors, but also a focus here today is that our uniqueness is our strength.
Mayor Ken Welch hosting his annual neighborhood summit, an event that Milton and Helene first canceled and is now being brought back to life.
We had to postpone because of the hurricanes last year, and it's just a meeting of all of our neighborhood leaders to talk about their priorities for the city, to kind of recap what we've gone through and to talk about our vision for the future.
Everyone under the sun, welcome to the Parks Rec Center to learn about local businesses, find new things to do, and hear from some of the city's leaders on things like upcoming city projects. Things kicked off with a local exhibition and then moved to speakers. The goal, hear from the people, see what they want, and start a conversation.
Well, access, I had a couple of conversations in there with folks who want to talk about issues and just a clear understanding of our priorities and where we go forward.
The overall theme of today's event is uniqueness of the community. The mayor tells us he plans on having this year after year. Reporting in St. Petersburg, Ryan Arbogast, 8 on your side.
We are following breaking news this morning. Tampa police tell us they have a suspect in custody after an argument outside of Flex Sports Bar on East 7th Avenue turned into a deadly shooting. They say around 2 this morning, the 22-year-old suspect was removed from the bar but returned soon after with a gun. After a short argument, they say he opened fire, hitting a 30-year-old man. Officers were across the street when it happened, quickly taking the shooter into custody. We are told the victim was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries.
Pinellas County leaders are pouring millions of dollars into keeping beaches in place. Crews have started a nourishment project that they say will save homes, businesses, and lives when the next storm hits. News Channel 8's George MacArthur is in Indian Shores with that story.
Crews will be putting sand on the beaches all throughout Pinellas County. County officials say it is a pricey job, but one that is necessary to protect people living on the coast. County leaders say the $125 million project provides a critical barrier against flooding and storm surge. But officials also say the biggest challenge right now is getting property owners to agree to let crews onto their land.
So a lot of people have signed the temporary easements. Unfortunately, 91 people so far have not signed one. And it's just for this temporary easement to provide so the crews can get on their property to do this.
Without those signatures, neighbors could end up paying the price when the water starts rising.
Their neighbor may have sand, but they won't. But if a homeowner doesn't sign the easement, they're putting their neighbors at risk as well, because water will well up on their property, and so there's going to be a lot of water that gets pulled up even if there's not a storm.
Public Works says the sand is also meant to protect wildlife after turtle nests were lost last season. And the new design creates a kind of wave break to keep surf from eating away the beach.
So we're basically creating a wave break in front of the beach, and then the dune serves as a wave break in front of the berm.
The project is expected to wrap up by March.
We saw, unfortunately, during Hurricane Helene, 13 people lost their lives. And the vast majority of them were because their houses flooded.
And officials say nourishment needs to be done every 6 years to prevent erosion. Although this project will not be completed until next year, even the little bit of sand they are putting on the beaches now helps this hurricane season. Reporting in Indian Shores, I'm Georgia MacArthur, 8 on your side.
Today, a jury found a Polk County woman guilty of murdering a 21-year-old sheriff's deputy. Blaine Lane was killed by friendly fire in October of 2022. Polk County Bureau reporter Stacy DeSilva is live outside the courthouse in Bartow to explain the verdict. Stacy.
Stacey, the jury deliberated for 2 hours and found Cheryl Williams guilty of second-degree felony murder of a law enforcement officer. Now, Williams did not fire the weapon that killed Deputy Blaine Lane, but prosecutors argued he died because of her. Now, Williams has been in jail since her arrest in October 2022. That's when Polk County deputies showed up at a Polk City mobile home to arrest her. Prosecutors say she hid and then came out pointing a BB gun at them. Deputies shot her. One of the bullets went through the wall of the mobile home and into Deputy Lane's chest. Now, Williams' attorney told jurors his client was preparing to surrender and did not point the gun at deputies. Listen now to some of what both sides had to say during closing arguments.
She immediately and instinctively raised her hand and turned to get away from the lights. It's a normal reaction. We'd all do that. What she didn't think about was the fact that she's holding a BB gun.
They saw her holding a weapon in a high ready stance, a position that indicated to them that she was going to fire. A position to them that indicated that their life was about to be over.
Now, Williams was found guilty on all charges. That includes a second-degree murder, but also resisting an officer and aggravated assault of a law enforcement officer. She will be sentenced at a later date. Stacey?
I'm wondering, Stacey, who all was in the courtroom today? I know it was an emotional trial.
Yeah, it was a packed courtroom today. Of course, Shelly Lane, Blaine Lane's mother, was there. You'll hear from her coming up at 5 and 6, as well as other family members. Blaine Lane's former co-workers and colleagues at the sheriff's office were there, showing solidarity, showing their support to the family. You'll remember Blaine Lane dreamed his whole life of becoming a Polk County deputy. That dream was fulfilled not long before his life was taken at 21 years old. Stacey.
Wow. All right, Stacey DeSilva live in Bartow. Thank you.
Salt Shack on the Bay's leadership says it sells domestic shrimp because it's the right thing to do for customers. Test results will confirm if that's still true and if other restaurants have changed their ways. So close to the sea, you can hear the water crashing.
You see the water in the background. It's a beach vibe. You should be serving local shrimp. And guess what? These guys serve local shrimp.
David Williams, founder of Seed Consulting, found during a study conducted last year, Salt Shack on the Bay was one of 2 restaurants out of 44 in Tampa Bay selling wild-caught Gulf shrimp. The rest sold imported shrimp from overseas. The restaurant's chief operating officer, Catherine Bovinette, says she uses a distributor that works with local fish houses.
There's a premium cost that comes to that, but there's also confidence and quality and a better taste that comes with it too.
Cheaper farm-raised shrimp from overseas is what's hurting local fishermen the most, according to Southern Shrimp Alliance's Blake Price.
We're seeing probably over a 60% reduction in the total effort of commercial shrimp trawl fishing. We're seeing massive loss of infrastructure. We're seeing very little recruitment.
Price says labeling requirements by the state would help.
People have a right to know what they're eating and where it's from.
Seed Consulting just wrapped up another genetic test of the supposedly local shrimp being sold at Tampa Bay restaurants, with samples from 22 establishments.
We haven't decided whether or not we're going to name them. We would prefer them to reconsider their options.
Seed Consulting says the results from this retest should be made available Tuesday. Reporting in Tampa, I'm Stacey DeSilva, 8 on your side.